Good morning to everyone. I am Academic Counselor H. Biswas of IGNOU. So, today our topic is MMPH 001, this is block number 3, Organizational Theory and Design. So, in continuation of the yesterday topics, today we have to elaborate further. So, let us see. So, now here the block 1 we have completed, block 2 yesterday we have completed, that is basic organizational structures, and there actually we have what are the fundamental of the structures we have discussed, and what are the factors affecting for the structuring during the process of structuring, what type of problems normally arise, that part we have discussed yesterday. Now today we have to go a little further about the design of the organizational design, that is typology of the organizationals, different type of structures that we have to discuss, and what are the advantage and disadvantage of the particular the design, that part also, and the contemporary organizational design. There are 2 units, unit number 6 and 7, that we are likely to go through this. So, there further the unit contains are further it is your functional organizational line and staff organizations. Then you have to see the functional organizational structures, hybrid structures, and your formal and informal organizations, centralization and decentralization part that you have to also have to see. Then your horizontal, hybrid, matrix, different type of the network structure that you have to see it, and what are the boundaries, basically boundaryless structure that you have to see. And unit number 7 is basically your contemporary organizational design, where the changing organizations, so what type of design are needed, and so that we can have a competitive force, and accordingly up to strategies. So, organizational dimension, then issues of the concept of the organizational issues, so all this part of the see. So, now as we know, the organizational structure, it is specifies the various job. Based on the job, it is distributed and divided as a group, and ultimately all the groups should be coordinated. That yesterday also we have seen these things. Now, the framework for the authority and the relationship appropriate, that should be more appropriate and relevant also. So, design authority and the reporting the relationships, how it should be operated, who will report to whom, and who will give the instruction to the subordinates. So, all this part to be defined, and definitely all these things should be towards in align with the managerial organizational objectives. So, there is a considerable evidence to indicate that the choice of the organizational strategy is determined by 3 basic factors are there for the determinations. What are the things? Number, yesterday also in the earlier session also we have discussed, that is the things, your first thing is your size, your organizational size, then your technology and the external environments. So, where the some sort of uncertainty is there. So, considering these things, you have to choose the best alternatives for your for doing the design parts. Now, typology of the organizational design. This actually the line organizations in the simplest form of a organizational structures. The line structure is based on the scalar principle, basically where the authority are directed by the from the top, and there is a in line. Suppose for example, the general manager, he is given the just below that one deputy general managers, then one after that below that one of the managers, chief manager, then after that some manager, then your foreman, supervisors, then workers. So, these are all in the same line directions. So, organization up to the lower level. So, highest levels of the organizations to the lower levels are in the same line. So, this is basically your line structures we can call. The primary emphasis on the organizations is the superior subordinates relationship, superior and the subordinates relationship to build up these things. So, every person in the organization is a direct chain of the command. Then for example, you see here the line organization chart is given. This is your topological of the topological organizational design chart. Just a general manager, then the manager finance. I am talking about the center middle columns. You see the general manager, then the manager finance, then your deputy manager finance, then your accountants and assistant. These all are in the same line of action. Actually, most business organizations are very small, except the very small. Otherwise, most of the this type of structure are maintaining. So, as the organizations have a grown complex, when it is very complex nature and complicated, it may not be sufficient. So, the line executives being the generalists and need to advise the personnel with the specialized knowledge and the functions of the how to tackle these things. So, line and staff organizations, the line authority remains the same as it does not the line organizations. The authority should flow from the top to bottom. What are the authorities? It should be from the top to bottoms. And the supportive staff functions are support and advice to the line executives. Another diagram is there, that is your when it is a it is also a part of your line organizations, but different bifurcations are there. So, there are a board of directors, then your managing directors, and within the managing directors, manager 1, 2 and 3 different divisions are there. They are reporting directly to the managing directors, and in turn managing director is reporting to your board of directors. So, and side by side parallelly in some manager HR is also there, he is also giving the directives. So, different multifunctional things are there when the managing directors are reporting different functional areas are reporting to your managing directors. So, what are the advantage? These advantages line and staff organization is that the staff specialized relief, the relief that the line executives of the so that the boardrooms and concentrating on the specialized field only. They should particular specific field they have to that function they are performing. So, this way, just for example, the salary, wages and the administration, account, public relations, etc., some sort of your specialized field all are. So, however, the disadvantage is also there. There is a structure is that the functionaries are not accountable, because they are whatever the instruction has come from the top, they have just followed it. So, they are not that much accountable for the results. They may not be performing their duties effectively, because only they have to follow the instruction only. There is another your diagrams are there, design diagrams, where again the general manager, then chief manager, and then different functional areas are there. That is your finance, marketing, HR, R&D, and then further it is downloaded the subordinate staffs. Then functional organizational structures. So, functional organizational structures, what are the advantages? Earlier actually we have shown this structure is basically functional area, different functional area, that structure is there. Now, what are the advantage of that? Advantage of the functional area are because all are specialized expertise are there, and that is one of the advantage. and they have a chance to do the particular this field. They have a not different type of works, only the specifically for the finance and HR. They are already in HR field, so they can have a, by virtue of the time and the process of the experiences, they can have a master of this field. So that way you can develop the specialized persons. That is, again, all these structures are case to case basis, depending on the your size of the company and your, as I said, that is your environmental conditions. So all these aspects you have to core area that you have to consider it, and accordingly you have to hit it. And when you are a specialized field, there is chances of opportunity and the promotions and the career development will be there. So all are basically the your advantages sides. As I can share my experiences, actually when I joined in the load dispatch and communication department, and it is a totally highly sophisticated fields and newly latest art of the communication systems and the control systems are things. So all specialized field was there actually. So we got a lot of opportunity to foreign trips and other activities and the promotion, and then there is enough scope was there. So that I can also share it. And but other department, the different type of functional groups are there. Disadvantage is sometimes the sectional interest only, because my sections, I am the chief of this my section, so I will concentrate on my development. That section people can specialize and they can do better. Other section, other functional area, I don't bother about these things sometimes. So that is one of the disadvantage. Then this is another diagrams, and it is your functional structure only. Then technological advantage is also there. What are that diagrams are basically based on the designs are required based on the your technological pressures. So when you have to cope up the present scenario, when the technical changes are there, so you have to reshuffle, you have to redesign, you have to restructure based on the your technology parts. Suppose the computer engineers may be required, it may be some specialized maintenance team may be required. So accordingly you have to reshuffle, or maybe you have to recruit. So all these things are keeping on view of the that challenge. You have to accept the technical changes. So you have to redesign all these things, and especially the specialized fields. So again, the disadvantage is there. It may promote its own product group only, and create the problems to other product divisions. Sometimes it may create some, so that some sort of conflicts can be arise. Hybrid. Now the hybrid organizational structures are popular nowadays, and some extent it is a very useful also, and it is proven also sometimes. There some your functional section is also there, a divisional part is also there. So it is just some sort of mixing. So hybrid actually combines feature of the both functionals and the divisional forms. So when the organization starts to get the very large, slowly, now it is slowly it will be increased and the manpower is increased, then that case it is established some self-contained units are required, and maybe the department all this the functional part of the organizations is reflected in the departments of the centralized in the corporate levels. Sometimes all the corporate level they have to control everything, all the areas, all the functional areas. And however, each of the product divisions they have some specialized fields, and again in the functional areas also there, and this necessary for the assistants are like this. If necessary, they can also assist each others. So the important advantage of the hybrid structure is the overall organizations enjoy the benefits of the both functionals and the product structures. So both the functional area are coordinated, and as and when required they can assist to each others. So that is one of the major advantage, and the lot of opportunity and to improve the coordinations. Hybrid structures is something their coordination will be important, and it will be increased. So both the within the among the divisions. Now it enables the organization to pursue an adaptive strategy. That way you can adopt the new things very easily. At the same time you can achieve the efficiency in the functional departments. So it helps in the proper alignment of the corporate and your divisional goals. Major disadvantage is the hybrid structure is that excessive duplications of activities may occur. So it is between the function and the division, sometimes the duplication is there, chances will be there. So that is on the part of your disadvantage things. So when this type of questionnaire coming, you have to write first things, the design structures, you have to show some of the diagrams like this, and you have to explain the things, how it has particular these diagrams are functioning, and then you have to highlight the what are the advantage, what are the disadvantage. That is the way you have to raise. Short note can come sometimes, maybe please explain the hybrid type of structures, and maybe your line and stop structures. So this you have to prepare yourselves. Now formal and informal organizations. Formal and informal organizations, the formal organization structure, it refers to a structure of the you clearly define the jobs. So where based on the jobs that it is clearly defined, each bearing a definite amount of responsibility. Every jobs have some responsibility, what to do, how to do, to whom you have to report it. So all these things the authority also define. So the formal organization is less formal procedures is also there, rule and regulations you have to maintain it. So which guide the behavior also in the individual performing these jobs. So everything are things. That is we can say the formal organizations. You have to follow procedures. Even in the timing also, you have to punch card is there. You have to be in time to come. If you take some leave or all these things, everywhere is a procedure is there. Policy is also there, and you have to follow everything is there. And how far your authority, how much power you have, that is also recorded. Everything is there. This is formal things. Informal organizations is the outcome of the social interactions that takes place between your individuals and the formal organizations. So that time exactly you cannot follow the procedure and all these things because you are in service, you are in the social interactions. So when the people working together, most of the cases they are basically the informal work group, we can say it. So often it is spontaneously. So because of the physical proximity is there, they can sit nearby. Otherwise, in the formal manager is sitting in somewhere, subordinate is sitting in somewhere. There is no physical contact is not there. By often it is not a often things. But when you are sitting in a very proximity, you can share your knowledge. You can discuss some of the things. Apart from the office work, you can touch some personal work, talking also, some chit chats and all these things, gossip. So everything can be possible. So these all are the part of your informal type of structures. So commonly the interest of basically the things. So these informal groups are collectively known as the informal organizational divisions, you can say. Now the informal organizations can benefit some of the times in the formal organizations in the following ways. What the way they can, we can say the informal organizations can benefit it because it serves as a useful channel of the communications. Coffee area, lunch areas, you can discuss. Maybe in the job also, sometimes not only all the time they are gossiping, even regarding the job also some problem is facing. Suppose some finance manager and the product manager, they are sitting together and they are doing some lunch or in the cafeteria area, they can discuss their work also, what the way. Then sometimes some solution can come off like this by the discussion itself. So, it lightening the workload. Sometimes it is lighted the workload. Suppose you are in pressure and stress conditions. So, if you discuss somebody is an informal way how to solve it, you can take their help and cooperation. So, sometimes it can be very fruitful. So, later it gives importance to the informal work groups. So, that is why most of the multinational companies, they have this type of informational group is there, and they are appreciated this cafeterias, lunch areas. That's why they have this, so that people, I mean the subordinate and staff should go there, enjoy the food, at the same time they can release their mental pressure also, work pressure also. So, it reduces the undesirable effects of the rigidities in the formal. Sometimes you are very monotonous and bored because same routine work are doing, there is no discussion, you cannot discuss with the others because the sitting distance are there. So that is sometimes you have some communication, some conference room or something where you can have a freedom, full freedom is there, you can chit chat or something. So, that is a very practice, and it is a very useful for keeping the mental health. So, it provides a safety valve also for the employee's emotions. Whatever the emotions, you are fatigued or stressed something, you can also release some of the by the discussion, or you can release some things. So, it is really the informal organizations should be welcome, some of the things, but informal groups, something like this. So, in terms of the, now coming to the, I have to now discuss about the centralizations and the decentralizations. So, centralizations, as I we have already touched in the last sessions, that the control are in the centers. I mean, they have to think authority, power, everything. Now, when it is small company or when it is within the range, it can be maintainable, and that things can be manageable. But however, when the company is big and your things are problematic, lot of complex are coming up. So, in that case, and people are sitting in different areas. So, that case the inputs of the decisions are may not be, it is very impossible to reach there in the central, in the corporate center or somewhere which is far away from there. So, you have to wait for their decision and approval. Sometimes it may create a problems. You can quickly, you are not as and when you really required that action plan, you cannot do it. So, that is a thing. That is why this centralization is important. Decentralization is required when the company are big and different units are in different locations, geographically also different locations. And the big company is very big, especially in the plants, different plants, so which are located in the different places. Decentralization is more beneficial in that case. So, with most of the large companies now preferring to make the organizations to make your organizations more flexible and your responsive also. So, there has been marked change towards the decentralization decisions making. Now, advantages, what are the advantages? It reduces the burden of the top management. Suppose the corporate center is in Delhi and Bangalore and other Chennai, or you see the Patna, there are some unit departments are there. So, all the time they have to wait for the Delhi corporate centers decisions. So, it may be hamper the jobs quickly or cannot take. So, you have to give authority to the particular units in the Bombay units and the Bangalore units. Okay, this much things you can have. If any very criticality or not taking the it is required some of the permission and approval, then only you can refer the, otherwise you have to take them. So, it should be by the meeting it can discuss what type of power should be, delegations are to be distributed to the units head. So, they accordingly you can fix it. So, it is a very advantageous. And another thing, it is a motivation by the enabling the middle and the lower level management. They feel happy, yes, I have taken some decision, I have not taken the approval from the things. Obviously, the post-facto approval you have to take it, but sometimes the immediate action you can take it, and after that you can just give information to the corporate centers and the headquarters, yes, that things we have done and this much amount is involved and this is the budgetary control like this. And within the power, that power of delegations, what is written in the procedures for particular this thing, they have to follow these things obviously. There are something, suppose how much money you can spend for these things, particular these projects, and everything are the delegation power of already should be written forms. It's not just for free freedoms, no. Some should be written is there, this okay. If in a particular unit there are some 1 crore or 2 crore expansion work or something, new work is there. So you need not to take a permission from the, wait for the budgetary approval, it's not required from the control headquarters and the corporate centers. So that case you can proceed the things as per your power, you can what is the written power, as already approved power, you can do it, and after that you can inform to the corporate centers so that the headquarters can know, should be aware of that information, yes, it is already done by the things. So this is the way it is functioning. Most of the multinational companies, they are delegating their power to the units, this is way. And some disadvantages also there. So because of this competitive minds and maybe the division to division, unit to unit conflict can be there. So competition mind will be there. They may not be what are the my units are profitable, my unit are giving the profit. So headquarters will be very happy, particular this unit. So sometimes the unit to unit coordinations helping that things sometimes may not be possible because of the competitions. Everybody want to show my unit is very good, number 1, other unit number 2 or 3. This is the type of things sometimes there. So that things are to be addressed by the management. And thing is, sometimes decentralization does require a plentiful supply of the capable of the motivated the managers also, and it is increase the responsibility. So some of the part of this decentralization. Now some of the typical structures, vertical structure. So here see then the vertical structures where the hierarchy, size of the hierarchy is there, number of chain of comments along with the number of the hierarchical levels, and it is high. And in such case you see if it is number of levels is high, so maybe comments are from the top level, it will enough time to reach in the lower levels. So that is you have to see it. The intervening layers, whatever the intervening layers, the executive layers, that should be minimized. At least you have to see at least 2 or 3 things there. Because if it is number of layers is more, so naturally the decision making process will be slower. So the main advantage is this: it provided better communications. The organizations minimize the values and ability to sustain, because that case you can sustain the things. Every layer have a responsible and things. But disadvantage, the only thing is consume more times, because in that case actually another advantage is in the hierarchy levels. If it is number of more hierarchies, then checkpoints, check and tick, review and check, review and check. That is in the ministry itself, in the bureaucracy, there are so many levels. Under secretary preparing some of the things, then deputy director, yes, cross checking everything, all these annexure head, they are or not. Then finally it will go to the another level, joint secretary, general secretary, again he has to cross check it. Then finally it will go to additional joint secretary. Then finally it will reach the secretaries. So there are so many hierarchy levels are there. So this is the way the communication, everything is there. So everywhere the checkpoints are there. So perfections and the correctness definitely will be there, but lot of time will take it. So that you have to consider it. So different way you have to see what type of work. If it is immediate decision is required, then it may not be useful. Only 1 or 2 levels is required. Immediately you can take the decisions and implement the things. So disadvantage is consuming the more time and communications. You have to explain every time. if any queries you have to explain. Under secretary is explaining to the director things, and then again director is joint secretary has explained everything, what are the things, then joint secretary again. So this is the way the time is very essence under that case. So that's why some of the limitations are there. Now your characteristics of the horizontal structures. So it is created around the 3 to 5 core process of the horizontal structure. Name itself, it is a horizontal parallel flat types, means it is not a levels basically as such. So in that case it is reduce the level of the supervisions, because in this case there is no supervision level is low, all are equal positions. Cross functional, the multidisciplinary and the cross functional things are there, that your self managed teams is composed of the your personnel from the different functionals area, like the finance, your marketing, human resource, then your quality control and your operational, has created a handle of the core process, and each team is entrusted with a core process. So this type of things are very, you can say, is a horizontal type of these structures. Now customer satisfactions, net profits of the primary driver and the measure of the performance as such for the horizontal with the customers as well as suppliers, where the relevant customers and the suppliers may be brought in full working numbers of the teams in charge of the core process. Because you see it is depends on, especially in the banking sectors when it is expanded, maybe the customer care officers is required more. So they are equally all are officers, but dealing process different windows are there, they are in the same windows, different windows. So work can be scattered and job can be distributed, equal same job volumes can be equally distributed horizontally. So access of the suppliers, vendors or public, it will be very easy. So all employees are encouraged to develop the multiple skills, and those who develop are the rewarded. The horizontal organizations need to build a corporate culture of the openness, cooperation and collaborations. Now see the main advantage. The main advantage on the vertical organizations. The main advantage of the horizontal organizations are the decision can be taken more quickly and solve the problems. A horizontal structures has fewer problems of the coordinations. One of the disadvantages the horizontal structure is absence of proper reporting to the superiors by the subordinate because of the decentralization. Because you just imagine as a horizontal structure, suppose here one of the custom officers are there, or in the suppose in the for the passport office there are passport officer there, another passport. So everywhere you see all the windows are there is no reporting things. He is taking, he is scrutinizing, he is helping, doing the everything, and he is giving approvals. So one man can do everything. So that is sometimes maybe chances of mistakes can be there. There is no cross check possible. So that is one of the disadvantage. Otherwise work will be very fast. Need not to be long queue will not be there, because everybody are coming and doing this thing and going back. So solution are instantly they are getting the solutions. Now the size of the project team varies from the project to project, because how many people, your group and team members, everything are based on your type of the project and how big this project is. So the role of a project manager is quite challenging, because the project manager are already targeted, some target fixed within a 2 years or within a half month or within a year have to complete this project. then production will start. So that's why always he has in a very target oriented work is there, action oriented work is there. So that's why he has to get a good authority, otherwise his hand is binding only every time he is taking the approval or permission from the top levels. So then project manager cannot be do as per his own way. He feel this decision to be taken by within an hour, but he may stuck off. So that is the things are there. So company and the management should think about it. The project manager, how much power, how much authority should be given or not. So it is basically the challenging job is there. So he is responsible for the completion of the project. Main thing he is the responsible for completing the projects. So if I giving some back gear, I mean some push, some pull systems, then it may be complicated. So quality standards and the prescriptions prescribed, everything are related to these things. Successful completion of the project, hierarchical levels. So organizational design depends on the how well he coordinated with the activities of the project teams. So when you are going for the structures and the design for the particular project area, and as a selection of the project manager, so what type of power he should have, everything should be defined, design should be keeping in mind all these matters. So internal experts he has to assist something, it may be required. So belonging to external agencies also. So then here some of the given the thing that is related to general manager, then your project 1, project 2, then project manager already have some project team, then your some engineers and the quality control, then HRM cells, research. So all are as a team of the members who are directly reporting to project manager. Project manager is handling in all the things. So project organizations in the suitable for the company, it gets a one-time assignment, and to use contact when the company faces the unique challenges. So because after the project again they have to come back, they have to resettle or reposting once again, or maybe the different position. So project team selections are very important. The main advantage of the project organizations are the participating the specialized of the project team, and also opportunity for the as a prompt for the prompt things are there. So expeditious and the effective accomplishment of the goals of the project. This motivates them to make maximum contributions to the execution of the project. So it facilitates the speedy communications between the project manager and the team members. And it provides flexibility in handling the various tasks. Now coming to the major disadvantage, because as we have seen, every structure, every design structures, some advantage is there, and this some of the disadvantages also there. So when you are learning these things, so when you are designing, so keeping in mind the this disadvantage part is also you have to. It is inevitable, because some disadvantage will be there, but how best you can do it, what are the disadvantages, that how to nullify the things, that part is the art of the design basically. So disadvantage of the project are, number one is the entire project becomes meaningless, meaning in the sense, if the project manager fails to coordinate the activities of the project promptly, because time is very essence in this project times. If it is not in timely, he cannot do it. That type skills and capability don't have. It may be getting the power, or it may not be, but execution you don't know how. So if he take the delay or some 1 or 2 days delays, by the time project will be suffer, he may not be complete the project in this way. That is actually here try to emphasize the things. The project will be failed. That is the way. It becomes meaningless, in the sense. So number two, the member of the project organizations have to sever the contract with the mainstream organizational. So that should be, they should be in the mainstream part. As such, they may be bypassed when the opportunities arises in their respective fields of the promotions. So the another thing, another disadvantage is because sometimes the expert people are working, but because of the wrong decisions, because of the project manager's incapabilities, so maybe he missed the promotion sometimes, even though he is a good worker. So that can be happening. The job of the project manager becomes very difficult because he has to deal with the specialist from a number of diverse projects, diverse fields. So here actually another point is there. The project manager should be knowledgeable, skilled enough, because he is dealing with the same specialist. Some specialist persons you have to deal in these things. So some sort of human skill is also required to perform the jobs, to motivate skill, leadership skills, motivational skills definitely are required very much. And maybe the level of where the other department manager, whatever that they are doing the routine work, but in the project manager is he should also have a very specialized in this field. His human skills, technical skills, knowledge skills should be in the number one, and it should be super of all these things, because he has to deal with all the specialist persons are working with him. Matrix organization combine two forms of the departmentalizations. Better I can show you some of the diagram, then this is better, where actually the matrix is a combination of R&D, then your R&D departments, laboratories, construction companies, hospitals, everything are there. There is some sort of matrix systems, means it is a mix. Sometimes exactly they not follow the particular structures. Manager can share the resources with the rest of the enterprises also. That is a part of your matrix systems. Here the things you see, the matrix organizations are there, where the managing directors, then your general manager, manager your productions and the human resource, and below this again it is directly some of the line is there. I mean, in the means the instruction line is there, but you see here the mixing means the matrices, R&D, marketing, finance, resource, productions. So this type of thing we can say is a matrix organizations. Advantage is this, what are the advantage? It facilitates the coordination within the organizations and your multiple complex and the interdependent activities. Very easily you can coordinate, you can fetch the information from each others. So what are the loopholes, what are the gaps are there, the bubbles are there, can be filled immediately. So it ensures the effective utilization of the services of the people and highly specialized skills also. The direct and the frequency contact between the different functional specialists in the matrix assures the better communication and the more flexibility. Because when you have someone, suppose for example you are in production cells, you are a product manager, so you can have a direct access to the discuss with your sales managers. Sales manager, he know what are the going on in the market in the marketing managers as such. So he can give a order to the production manager, requisitions that this much production are to be required for the next month. He can give directly, can discuss with him, you have to increase your productions another 500 units, because the next month that particular this product units, I mean the number, basically the number of the product you have to increase, because it is required, the market demanding like this way, that demand is coming. Okay, sure. So that is the way you can coordinate in better way. Direct information can be possible things if you have a matrix type of structures. An intern production manager can give into the inventory management or raw material purchase managers. He can give information requisition to the purchase managers that this much raw materials are required, because we have next month we have to improve, we have to increase our productions another 500 units, because it is coming by. So, there sometimes they can interact with the all the head of the managers, production manager, purchase manager, sales manager, marketing. They can discuss each other, they can coordinate away, and finally decision can be taken very faster. Not in a standalone way. They cannot work in a standalone way. That will be jointly as a things. Then definitely it will be improved. The decision process will be faster. Information flow of information will be very correctly in time. So decision will be also in time, and definitely. So that's why the matrix it is ensure the communication and the more. That's why the communication system should be very strong enough, and the robust communication system and should be in a flexible way also. Major disadvantage, everywhere some disadvantages. What are the disadvantage? That is, the structure breaks the unity of the command concept. Then reporting to one boss introduces role conflicts. Sometimes the role play is some ambiguity will be there. Why you are discussing some with the superior boss? Why you are discussing with the other bosses? No problem. No, you have to consider in your unit until. So that time maybe sometimes the conflict will be there. Everybody wants their interest to show these things. So matrix organization higher cost than the organizations with the conventional. In the conventional hierarchy systems, for that the matrix system the cost will be higher. So then another thing is your network relationships, then your R&D, and the networking is done through the electronic technology. As such, the partnerships between the virtual organizations and your other organizations based on the electronic contracts. So this is all of the virtual organizations we are talking about. What type of picture should be. Then this is one of the typology of your organizational design. That is your virtual organizations. There they can interact with through these communication parts, and say the central core areas there. Nowadays it is very popular. Most of the multinational companies are doing this way. Virtually they have contract everything. So manufacturing unit may be in somewhere, distribution may be in somewhere, and R&Ds maybe they have to situate in other way, and manufacturing. So maybe different countries also, but they are centralized in such a way they have to discuss everything, or virtually they are controlling of the things. This is another structure is there. Major advantage of the virtual organizations is that through the virtual organizations it is possible to create your best of the everything. The best things you can take it through worldwide. What are the process, what is the procedures are going on, that also you can adopt. And a virtual organization allows the someone with the innovative idea. In this case, idea creations successfully you can do it, and it is possible to because of the flexible natures. That's why it is possible. The major disadvantage is also there. What is the disadvantage? That is, it reduces the management control. Sometimes the management control is not there because it is a virtually connected to everywhere. So information are flowing and very fast, and everybody are taking their own decisions, and they are doing this. That's the control sometimes may be difficult. As you see our social media also, there are virtually you see everybody have getting all these things, but it is no control is as such. So it is very difficult to things. So reliability of the partners may be doubtful. So because sometimes because of the virtually is connected, the security and safety may not be there, leakage, and the secrecy can be passed on to the other partners, maybe the suppliers or the clients. So that is a chances are there because of this virtually it is connected all of these things. So another thing, your the boundary, yes, it reduces the very barriers also, and and strategy, because the boundary organization means we are cross the border. So that is the way, that type of another strategy is there. So it is replacing the functional departments with the cross functional teams of the organization activities and around the the process. Here actually using the your internal transfers and your rotating the people into out of the different functional areas. This is the way you can manage it, whatever you can finish up your all the activities. External boundaries can be reduced through the practices, and some of the by strategic alliances, through some of the customer or organization linkages, and telecommunicating. So mainly with the network computers, the major advantage of the boundaries, less organizations are this for the Amazon, Flipkarts. Because of this, they are sitting in the America or in the USA and other areas, but they are controlling and they are doing the business through this only, because their organizations are boundaryless. There is no boundary. Sometimes you don't know that product you are reaching in the home, where it is coming, how it has coming, what the way the coordination has done. Very unique things are there. Maybe the supply is somewhere, production is there somewhere, and the main party is coordinating everything, and we are getting within a day, 15, maybe some of the hours we can get the things. So it is, things are moving very fast. Lot of again some advantage and disadvantage is also there. This is foster the teamwork among the employees. It is ensure the speedy communications within the organizations, and it can help the competitiveness in the global economy. As I say in your Swiggy or your Amazon, Zomato, are very fast they are growing, and the global economy is also increasing this way. The principal drawback of the particular organization is that difficult to clarify the establish the relationship between the superiors and the subordinates of the organization. Sometimes it is very difficult. You cannot identify who is the boss, who is reporting to whom. Maybe you have to search who is the customer care officers, who is the in charge of the things, who reporting to whom. So you may be facing a problem, complaining and all these things. You don't know where to do, who is exactly give the solutions. So sometimes it is some of the drawback is there. So organizations with this type of these circuitries put the customers in the top. Suppose inverted pyramids is basically when the vertex is the below, I mean the controlling officers is in the below, and top level in the base levels, in the base, that is your directly the frontliners interact with the customers. So customers officers are there. So pyramid should be the basically the BPOs, your this type of customer relations oriented, public oriented department offices are there. This type of construction your structures is there, where the customers in the top, and whatever the ideas, dealing, everything, decisions are taken by the frontliners. So it is important that driving the business. So frontline employees is taking the sale of the products. What are the people are coming? They have to, just for example, the help desk, they are doing everything. So this is the diagram. This is the vertex. In this, in the customers in the top, and then after the frontliners, employees, then your supporting staffs, and finally CU in the bottom. So sometimes you don't know who is the CU are not in front of the things. They are taking the decisions, if any something. It is all are trained persons. CU are giving the overall, see the purchase, everything are going in line with the objectives or not, or it is profitable or not, or motivational part. He is doing this part only. So day-to-day decisions making solution are taken by the your frontliners. Those are things. So similarly, some of the advantages and disadvantages also there. So now some of the another thing is the task force. So preparation of the task force, some temporarily you have to prepare all these things, then the different structure and design should be there. Then your you see some of the your mechanistic organizations basically, and your I can touch upon some of the things. This is your organic structures, where organic structures is basically characterized by the low formulations, and the rules or regulations where it is just only written, not only the written, it is written down their ignorance, because they are not following the open and widely in the used communication patterns, so which incorporate horizontal diagrams, diagonal, and as well as the vertical diagrams. That is actually, you can say, it is all our your what do you say, that is organizational organic organizations. The relation of the one of the front of the elastic, as such the organizations may oscillate from the end and the your end of the to the other, depending upon the nature of the environments and other factors. So I think then I think go for some of the area I can touch, that is a contemporary organizational design. That is due to technical changes, the technical advantage, I can say advances, the concept of the sense of the response organizations are doing the round in the recent times, because a lot of every company are thinking of this way. The progress made in technology, and that is your e-business, service delivery, and the capabilities has developed, so they are highly network organizations. And today's world is, as we know, that is a major challenge of the firm is the same that the consultancy firms and your facing the your unpredictable demand. Sometimes you don't know. So change in any of the environmental factor is a constant threat. So constant threat is there. Any change is you are getting some threats. So and definitely opportunity also. Every threat normally you have to take it as a guaranteed, I mean challenge, and you have to search for the opportunity also. And therefore the organizations require speed and flexibility more than the fixed determined the structures. Fixed defined structures sometimes you may not be possible continue. So because of the challenges are coming, you have to redesign, you have to restructure, you have to dismantle the thing and you can do again. So that's why fixed defined structures may not be applicable. So some flexibility, that's why the same flexibility should be there. The organizations facing the unpredictable demand and changing the factors need to focus on intellectual resources, and thus they rely on the free, fluid, and temporary design. So actually in the last sentence is saying they should be free, fluid, and temporary designs. So you have to keep in mind, anytime situation can be changed, you have to restructure, you have to meet the challenge, you have to do it. Then some of the organizational need to be more focused, more pointed out, that is your inclusivity and the employee voice. Because if you really for the transformations, so definitely what the employees' ideas, what they want to say, you have to listen carefully, and involvement, inclusions is very much required. Changing the workplace dynamics. So this is also one of the areas. The role of the organization's environment. The environment can be classified into two ways, that is a task oriented environment, another is a general environment. And role of the international environment, that is some of the Michael Porter's competitive force, and the strategies he is saying some of the threats of new entrants, the power suppliers, then the power buyers, and threat of the substitutes, and rivalry among the existing competitors, is all are the competitive force are there. So within this competitive force, you have to think the better structural systems based on your limited resources, you have to do it, so that you can globally can compete. So organizational diagnosis is basically the issues of the concept. The main organizational design, the issues are the competing the priorities due to poor governance. Another problem is the governance problems are there. So unwanted turnover due to lousy and the role your role design. Then inaccessible bosses, because you are not directly contact with the boss, you cannot unavailable, I can say unavailable the bosses due to excessive span of control. So this is one of the things, span of control is more, so you cannot directly interact with the everybody's, so that is one of the issues. Cross functional rivalry due to misaligned the incentives, that is one. So these all are the issues basically. Then your organizational issues that emerge due to your contingent workforce. Sometimes the workforce are not very permanent stuff, time to time they have to go back and casually they are joining, so that part is also important part. And then you have to issue the employees stay connected, that is one of the things. Employee always should be connected with the jobs like this. Manage the global structure issues also, you have to manage the economically development and the countries, and have all these things are to be ensured. And empowerment and empowering the people is also very important. So there are some few just last slides I can say that the employees stay connected, and these things are different issues are there. So I think almost I have covered the block 3, and then okay, thank you very much. Thank you.